Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:28 a.m. I am on my way to the gym, and today I am officially 40 years old. 40 years old. I was sitting in church yesterday. It's a Monday, and I got to thinking about it says that if you honor your mother and your father, 15 years will be added to your life. And I knew that somewhere inside the Bible there was a message about how long a man could look forward to on earth, and it said that 70 years. So I take that I take that to mean that anything over 70 years is a blessing. So I just wanted to see what quarter of my life I was in, and come to find out I'm I'm a little bit past halftime in my life, and I've developed a way of thinking about what that means, halftime. And halftime in sports terms always meant the time to go back, regroup, and and in life repurpose and come out with a new spirit, new rejuvenation, a new walk, to get your game plan tighter together, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, family. Get it together. And the two things that have been on my mind lately, and it's crazy because is that you have to have discipline, and you have to be willing to keep going on no matter what gets in your way. See, I've already figured out that it's not a collection of things that hold you back. Sometimes it feels like it because you will do things that will ultimately derail your plans, and it feels like it's five or six things when in reality 4 or 5 of those can be halted at any moment. But it seems like it's always just that one lagging thing. It's always just that one nagging thing that stands in your way, that holds you back, and that puts you on pause. And it seems like it's constantly there. You ever remember when you used to get sick and you'd have that cough, and that cough seemed like it would never go away, and it stayed on your mind, and you always was thinking about when it's going to go away, and then the moment you stop thinking about that cough, it goes away on its own? Well, this thing that holds you back in life is similar to that cough, except for the fact that it won't go away. It's just as annoying, it's just as evident, but it won't go away. And some people spend all their life with this one thing because they think it's so many things that are coming at them. They won't stop what they're doing and reroute their life. They'll just stay in that constant flux and that constant revolving door. Never once pinpointing exactly what's wrong. Never once getting down to the bottom line of what's really going on with me. I knew what mine was. As easy as it was for me to stop smoking cigarettes, God knows how many years ago, I just stopped. As easy as it was for me to just stop smoking weed, I just stopped. As easy it was for me to just stop drinking alcohol, I just stopped. As easy it was for me to just give up sugar and dairy, just stopped. Even though I have a little sugar now and I have dairy now, but how easy it was for me to stop. It's not something that I need. It's not something that I crave. It's something that I just want. How easy it was for me to just give up being with multiple women. How easy it was for me to just give up the night. See, a lot of the things that I've been able to give up were a part of my pruning growing up. See, because when you've sat in a prison for so long, it starts making you think about home a whole different way. Because see, that one day back in time when I didn't make it back home because I did something stupid and I had to reroute through a 10-year prison sentence, and then as a juvenile I had to reroute through 6-month stays at Adobe Mountain, and I had to reroute months staying at Durango County Jail, and I had to reroute. When you have to do all that rerouting, when each and every time you are on your way home and you get rerouted, it makes you see home in a whole nother light. So my pruning growing up was a part of the reason why I'm able to give up certain things. When you're sitting in a super match unit and there is no cigarette call, you give up these. You find your life putting you in positions where certain things that you know you have to give up, they fall away easy because you've already been through the pruning process. Pruning is when you cut away the dead leaves off of a tree so that it can actually live and thrive without giving off any of its sources to limbs that are no longer fruitful. You'd be surprised how many times you've been through a pruning session that was meant for your own good. And I think most people go through that pruning process kicking and screaming. Well, I kicked and screamed. Just too bad that the prison guards didn't care enough about my kicking or screaming. The gate stays shut. But there's always that one thing. That one thing. And everybody's one thing is different. That continues to be a hindrance. Continues to set you back. I've spotted mine, and it's a fight. But in the week that I've been clean and sober of that thing, my mind is clearer, my energy's better, my relationship is better. How I feel about myself is better. See, it's funny. It's funny how you can get power out of giving up things that set you back, that hurt you, that are wrong. See, the truth of the matter is, it's not just in my one thing that I found power, but I had to give up family members that just weren't empowering me. They weren't feeding me. There was no synergy. We couldn't come together in mutual agreement. And you know, something about saying, I remember my mentor talking about, yeah, I'm in the last quarter of my life. And even if he was 70 and he lived, you know, to 95, you know, anytime somebody passes away, I hear that they're 80, 81, 80. That's a pretty good run. And depending on how you live, boy, that's a, I'd like to push out 100 as long as I'm still in my right mind. That's all I want. But I remember him saying, I'm in the last quarter of my life and I'm just getting everything together. And I just say, if the second half is better than the first half, boy, I got a lot to look forward to. Because the first 40 was long. And it was a fight. It was a fight. It was a fight. I didn't know if I'd make it. I didn't know if I'd make it. But nonetheless, if you're going to make your life worth anything, you got to give up some things. And I give you a little bit of leeway at 17, 18. I give you all the way up to 30. But if you're still 30-something doing the same old things, I suggest that you take a real good look at the past 30 and see where, if you're any further than where you started. I'm gonna probably venture to say no if you're still doing the same thing. If your mentality hasn't shifted. You have an option. You have a choice. And you have a responsibility to this life you've been given. Because it did not have to be you. You did not have to be the one that was here. But God chose you. How do you repay him? How do you honor him? What are you doing today to make a difference? In somebody else's life? In your own life? In the lives of those who are yet to come? What are you doing? Or are you still playing the victim? Or are you still claiming that you've been mistreated? Your lot in life was short, was less than. What's your excuse? What's your crutch? What are you leaning on to keep your excuses standing up taller and straighter than you? It's one thing. If you can identify that one thing, you can make a change in your life that will propel your grandkids into another dimension. Or you can stay the same and not make a difference at all. but the option is yours. 100%.